Hi, I'm Debra Birnbaum with Gold Derby, and I've gathered my fellow pundits so we can debate the Oscar predictions. And now we're going to talk about the supporting categories, actor and actress. Pete, you want to start us off with?
Well, sure. I mean, supporting actress is a very tough category this year because we have some movies that are going to provide 2 nominations. I'll start with Emilia Perez, where we have Zoe Saldana, who really should be in the lead category because
I know you have feelings about this.
She is a lead. It is her story that drives it, but obviously it's an old Hollywood thing. You can call it category fraud or whatever you want,
it's
but
strategy.
They will not run, except for The Room Next Door. Props to Julianne Moore and to Tilda Swinton for saying, no, we're both leads because they're both leads. Here we have Zoe Saldana, and we have Selena Gomez, who truly is supporting in this movie. Both of them are likely to get nominated here. Zoe is probably the front runner we speak.
Yes.
Because really it's a leading role.
But Selena gets in too.
And she's fantastic. So we have those 2.
Okay.
And then we have Ariana Grande, people just loving her. Again,
Who saw that one coming?
It's a leading performance. It was on Broadway and everything else, along with, the other one that Cynthia Erivo plays. They're splitting that up too. She's got a juicy role. She'll get in as well. Then we have like a whole long list, but I love Isabella Rossellini for an 8-minute role. What is it?
It's like her mother in Murder on the
7 minutes 51 seconds.
There you go.
There have been shorter.
I knew you'd know.
There have been
7 minutes
shorter.
Clayton
Clayton's got a whole life as a statistician.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
But she deserves it because the movie turns on that moment.
She deserves it. And by the way, sneaky winner, Isabella Rossellini, because it would be like Judi Dench, Shakespeare in Love, especially if you think
Beatrice Straight.
If you think
her mother, Ingrid Bergman, and Murder on the Orient Express.
There's your campaign.
She's so good, but you could feel the audience when I saw it. I tell you right, you could just feel it. They loved her.
Never been nominated.
So I think she'll get in. That's what the category was designed for, not sneaking in leading roles into this.
In fairness, that yes, there's been a lot of talk about Zoe with category fraud. Ariana Grande, I think we can argue is category fraud. You can also argue Saoirse Ronan and Blitz is category fraud. I see that as a 2-hander. Danielle Deadwyler, I think you can even make an argument about.
But Felicity Jones in The Brutalist.
So Danielle will definitely get in.
But does Danielle get in? That's my better question.
Definitely.
Danielle, they put in supporting. I thought she was lead all the time, but
it's a category calculation too.
But it's an ensemble.
The role has gone lead before Broadway productions. So before today, I was feeling really good about Danielle, but
why? Why have you changed your mind?
What happened today?
Let's say before we sat down. Nothing that she did. It's because, again, sole nominee for your movie. And I know we had this recently with Brian Tyree Henry, which happened for Causeway. It really is tough to do nowadays. So I just feel like I have to feel good about Piano Lesson just somewhere else.
Well, the question there is if we bring up Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, that's another one where everybody thought, oh my God, Viola Davis, she's going to, Chadwick Boseman. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
And the other question,
it's a question of how many people saw it.
Yeah.
The other question for me is because everyone keeps talking about the narrative of, voters are going to remember the snub. Do we really think voters actually work that way?
No.
In this case? No, they do not know that.
She's a terrific actress who did a great job until, but it was not like an unexplainable
it was not. They will not know
I felt that way, but in fairness, the Paul Giamatti snubs for Sideways they remember. They don't remember the Danielle Deadwyler.
Yeah, Paul told me people think he won for Sideways to this day.
So she either gets it on her
don't know these things.
She could
we
get
got a lot of these other potential one-offs, right? So you've got not even one. Well, a one-off would be Joan Chen and Dee Dee.
Yeah,
that won't happen.
That's not
probably not. But then you have people who why, if you're gonna definitely nominate Timothy for a Complete Unknown, why wouldn't Monica Barbaro potentially?
I think she's
fantastic.
Be in there.
She's a great Joan Baez.
I think she's actually moving up in the ranks.
I think she should.
I think people haven't seen it.
If you're definitely nominating Demi Moore, or likely nominating Demi Moore, why wouldn't Margaret Qualley? And last one, if you're not, but if people do love September 5th, I think that there's a chance.
I like Leone.
I love that. I love that.
Can I say Margaret Qualley? I look for this during seasons. She's very, I call it Mila Kunis coded Black Swan. Like she's going to get globe sag and then like fall off at the end. So they could be a package deal. Loney, if you think September 5 is going to do stuff, I think she's like the Rachel McAdams
She's really
spotlight
good.
thing. It's easy to grab onto her where Skarsgård and Megara are going to have issues. But I think looking at Felicity Jones, I think there's been, I don't want to say a consensus, but a lot of people that have seen The Brutalist and even the ones that love The Brutalist say that the first half of The Brutalist is better than the second half.
That's what I say.
And
They
she's
do.
in the second half.
No, that is definitely what they say.
I'm not predicting her.
I'm not either.
I'm not either.
But people give me
I
a lot
like
of-
her, but I don't think
But people
she's
do
gonna
think
get
that
it.
she's a lock, and
I don't
I don't
agree
think
with
she's
that.
a lock, but I give her a little bit more of a shot than I think you guys are. I think if you like the movie, which a lot of people I think do and will, I would be surprised that they would not bring her along for it. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I think Saoirse Ronan is very strong.
For which?
For Blitz.
For Blitz. And I think she is, I call Renee Zellweger Cold Mountain coded of like I think she could still win for that performance. It's like
No,
like
the outrun doesn't happen.
It doesn't
No, the
happen.
outrun doesn't
Nobody
happen.
saw it, and it's very
for-
But it's just a way to make up for it.
The outrun
Yes.
is not
This-
going to
I don't-
happen.
But this
No.
is a way for making up for, like,
But-
the Academy loves her. She's been nominated four
four times. She hasn't won, and you could just give it to
They
her
don't
with a
know
straight
that.
face.
They don't know that, and I
think they
also
do.
don't think
They
that there's
don't
this
know that.
much
I didn't even know. I had to
affection for
look it up.
Blitz.
Well, I don't think that. I don't think.
Like-
Well, I think what happens. This is Timmy's issue and Complete Unknown is that people look at her and go, "We got time." Like she's 30. Like we have so much more time to reward her. We don't have to do this right now.
I just want to bring up that we're talking about Selena Gomez and Ariana Grande
Right.
being nominated.
5 years
and
ago.
Who would have called that?
Like Oscar ratings are going to be through the roof. And listen, and she's good. I don't think she has much of a shot. But Jennifer Lopez in Unstoppable is
She's really
it's
good.
her
But
best role in a
again,
long
it gets
time.
down to
It's
the
crowded.
There's
image
just not enough
problem.
Yeah.
spots.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. I don't want to let us go without talking about supporting actor.
Ooh.
Oh God, yeah.
I know we have to do
Okay.
that.
Well,
Dan, you want to
All
start us
right,
off?
supporting actor Kieran Culkin, I would
Yes.
say for A Real
He's in.
Pain is
Definitely.
leading the category.
Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington.
Denzel for Gladiator 2.
He's in his own movie.
Extraordinary.
It's you have the time of his life.
He's having the time of his life in his own
Edward
movie.
Norton
Yes.
for A Complete
Oh, you
Unknown.
think he's in?
Oh,
Absolutely.
interesting.
And Guy Pearce for The Brutalist.
Guy Pearce for sure.
Yes.
I think
Absolutely.
He's so
I
good in
think
that.
Clarence
Clarence Macklin?
of those four.
I'm not
I think
so
I think
sure about
Clarence
that.
I'm
might
not
be
sure.
in.
I'm not
And
sure
I think
about
Clarence
that.
is maybe
Jeremy
in.
Strong.
I don't know.
Jeremy-
I think
I would say
I think
not.
Yura Borzov is in for Honora.
That could happen.
I think if Honora
Yeah.
is as strong
People
as people
fall in love with him.
Yeah, I think he's because there's.
I think all three of those actors
Yeah.
in that, I would nominate that for ensemble. I think
Right.
they're all fantastic.
That's going to be their biggest problem as individuals is how do you pick between him, Mark Edelstein,
the other
Karen
one.
Carrigal.
I thought all three
I
of them
know,
were
they're
great.
all great.
I think I don't know if you
Honora.
guys at Telluride had this issue. People were telling me like which Russian did you like in the movie?
That's the thing.
But I think the final
Yeah.
shot of that
Yes.
movie is why
talk about
Yura
a
gets
scene-stealing
in.
moment.
By the way, you
That is
mentioned
Yura's-
Clarence Macklin. They don't know who Clarence is. We should say he was a real prisoner in Sing Sing, which is about
Formerly
theater troupe.
incarcerated.
And formerly,
In
and
Sing
now
Sing.
he's playing,
A version of himself.
He's
version
great,
of
and
And so that's what I'm
himself.
saying. I like
Not
a narrative.
himself.
I like a good story.
Yeah,
I think that's a great
It's
story.
a great narrative, and I don't know. We'll see.
And then people often say like but people don't know who he is. People don't know who Troy Kotzer was, and he still did it. Like people, they learn about people, and I think Norton. I'm curious about because as I was watching it. There's maybe the first 40 minutes I was like, oh, he's cooking. Like this is maybe something.
He's good.
And then I feel like he just doesn't have that.
It's
like,
a bit understated as the
Yeah.
character is. He's
Well,
just
the character is. What
yeah.
about September 5? We
Well,
have
that's right.
John
Oh,
McGraw
yes. Oh, my-
and Peter
and
Sarsgaard.
Peter
And Peter Sarsgaard.
That's a
Sarsgaard.
problem.
Absolutely.
I don't think any of them will get nominated.
I would hope they
Well,
would.
Conclave has two guys. The Conclave
Stanley
and
Tucci.
Tucci.
Stanley
Stanley
Tucci.
Tucci.
Watch out
Stanley
for Tucci.
That's the other guy.
Yes.
Tucci, I think.
Yeah, well, that movie could draw them in. John Lithgow was great.
I
too.
also think Tucci is a sneaky winner
They
as
love
well
him.
because he hasn't won before. If Ray finds his win, it becomes like a Sean Penn, Tim Robbins thing. I'd watch out.
All right.
Guy Pearce, though, also
yeah.
very Philip Seymour Hoffman in
He's
The Master,
never been nominated.
and I think he's
Memento,
phenomenal.
L.A. Confidential,
Yeah.
on and on. This guy, Hurt Locker, right? He's
No, I just did an interview here that's going to run sometime soon, and
plugging
I
ourselves
asked him,
in.
I said,
I know.
I asked him that question. I said, when you look at your resume here with a lot of movies that won Best Picture as well, how did you never get an Oscar nomination? And it's really interesting. And he goes, well, you know, you just don't think about it and all of that. And I said, you should think about it this year.
Yeah, he's a great journeyman.
I don't know if
actor.
thinking about it will get him across the finish
Well,
line, but it'll.
But maybe
I think he's
maybe our
very
predictions
respected.
will.
Right.
And on that
I wouldn't
note,
say journeyman, character actor.
Character actor, yeah, that's good.
Deborah, aren't you glad you came back to this side
I
of the
love
business?
it. I love this debate. I love this argument. You're making me all so happy.
Yeah.
I
Oh
will-
wait, we have to let Ann talk about Brian Tyree Henry for Fire
That's
Inside.
right.
'cause
That's
he's
very
great.
correct.
Yes.
You're
And
correct.
so is the lead in that,
So
Ryan
The Fire
Destiny.
Inside is one of those movies that played at Toronto, didn't get a lot of noise, but was
So good,
respected.
though.
And so Rachel Morrison, cinematographer, directing debut, but Brian Tyree Henry
He does.
kills it.
He really
And-
does.
and
He always does,
Gothams
but especially
noticed
here.
him, and I hope
And
he
he's done it
gets
before
through.
with Causeway.
Yeah,
you know?
and by the way, also very Paul Giamatti Cinderella Man coded. Like it is that like coach that role does well. So
Yeah,
they watch
no,
it,
he could
watch
definitely
out.
get in. She was, we didn't mention her when we
Ryan
did the
Destiny.
Ryan
actresses.
Destiny.
But I thought Ryan Destiny was a real breakout in
Yeah.
that movie.
So much to talk
So we
about.
figured it out. That's the season.
All right, we
Done.
solved it.
Done.
Congratulations, we're so smart. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all. This is
you.
great.
Thanks.